Good morning. Good morning, beauties. How is it with you? How are you feeling this morning? How are you feeling this afternoon? Whatever time it is, day or night, take that moment to pause, to lean back, to breathe, and to embody and to seek your answer inside. So, what came in this morning for me was the word pleasure and the concept of pleasure and leaning into pleasure, the pleasure principle, right? And then secondarily, or always primarily, the spells we cast with words that we speak both internally and through our mouths out loud, right? Casting spells. And the spells that have been cast over us, with the words that have been spoken over us in our family lineage, in our cultural lineage, in the particular time on earth that we were born into, that lineage, right? There's certain words that are promulgated and repeated, right? You'll see that, right? We'll see that in different times on earth, right? Certain phrases, certain words, particularly now with this inundation of outside coming in, right? The news. And now the news is constant and from many, 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 many sources. Yeah? So this incoming, and we'll see there are common phrases or common words that get picked up in different seasons on earth in the human family. So being really, really caring, right? Taking care. The reason we do this practice of pause, lean back, breathe, and embody over and over and over again is to return ourselves to the original filtration system, which is you, your body, where you abide, because you have all of the tools to be able to create discernment. Yes, we have to sometimes push through the veils, push through those layers that have been laid atop of us in order to come to some sense of clarity, which is why the practice repeated, or any kind of practice that brings you back to your breath, back to your connection to the earth, back to your embodied experience, knowing that you, right, you, that essence self, are abiding inside of or have become part of this structure called the body. So spells. What spells are you casting with the words that you speak frequently, both internally, right, inside, sometimes harsh words that we will, beat ourselves up with over and over again. And then the words that we hear outside with our ears. And then the words we remember in the deep, deep recesses of our body, our embodied memories of words that were spoken over us, sometimes by very, very unconscious, disembodied people who are just repeating the fragments of pain that they may have experienced. And some of us may have experienced words of beauty, words of joy, words of, upliftment. And there might be a combination thereof, right, for most humans. But back to pleasure. So when we hear that word pleasure, to do what is pleasing, to please yourself, to allow yourself to have a focus on pleasure, what comes up for you? What rises up Yeah. Because there is a bit of, in this particular time we're in, and in the West in particular, I can only speak for that with real authority, because this is the place that I've been raised in this lifetime. I have explored, I've traveled, I've seen and been in other parts of the planet, and understand that there are differences, huge differences about this particular word and what it might mean or not mean, right? There's a little suspicion in the West if somebody seems to be enjoying too much pleasure, right? If they're too in pursuit of pleasure, and even that word, even examining and taking some time to own it for yourself, right? There's a kind of an oppression of too much joy. That's a little different than pleasure, right? Or an eruption of self-confidence, where the person's saying, right, my pleasure, my ability to choose pleasure over pain, perhaps, is my choice, and I'm going to take that choice, and I'm going to allow myself to feel good and to express that, right? Perhaps even generously express it. So what if you decided to lean into what is pleasing to you today? Just to lean into that, right? And notice what comes up. Notice what would be pleasing to me today? Even to examine, like, do I even know? To be curious about it. Okay? Start with the simple. Yeah, the simple might be, what would be pleasing to me today in terms of what I would like to nourish my body with? Food or drink, right? Pleasing to you is a kind of an all-encompassing, from my perspective, word, right? It's not just what would taste good because I'm craving sugar, right? Perhaps, etc., right? But actually taking some time, right? Letting it play out a bit. Pleasure. The pleasure principle, leaning into what might be pleasing for you. And what might be pleasing for you today might be different tomorrow. But starting to resurrect pleasure as part of your focus forward. To question, right? Do I allow myself to have pleasure in my life? Do I know what it is? And if you don't know immediately, to decide, well, maybe I'd like to know. Maybe I would like to know more about who I am if I were a human who focused on pleasure, right? This is how we reconstruct and redesign. We have to challenge old words spoken over us, or words we've been using to punish or harm ourselves, by offering something new. So, what if, again, today, you made the pursuit of pleasure, even the understanding of pleasure, be at the front of your directive going forward into your day, or into your evening, or into your week? Keep practicing, right? If it feels nervous, like, I don't know what pleasure is, right? Right? Keep pressing the pause button, leaning back, giving yourself the opportunity to fill up with that beautiful air. Release stress or tension, right? This pursuit is not here to create anxiety, right? Like, I don't know what pleasure is. Oh no, what does that say about me? It's curiosity. It's playfulness. It's what if. Okay? Starting to create some softness around the edges here, while remaining rooted down and in, so that you can explore the concept of pleasure, so you can pay attention to any spells that have been cast over you by way of words spoken, repeated, and what you'd like to put in their place if they don't feel pleasing. So curiosity, as usual, is really good medicine. Really good medicine. Okay. Sending so much love, so much big love, so much respect, so much honor to you for doing this human thing, right? It's a big deal. Okay. Mwah. Big love. Talk soon.